Welcome to the No Te Rindas Intermediate English Podcast, home of the Tenaz Intermediate English app. Disponible en noterrindaspodcast.us. Este es un podcast para hispanohablantes que quieren mejorar su comprensión auditiva del inglés de los Estados Unidos. Somos dos hermanos americanos con raíces mexicanas. Soy Gabo, o Gabe, aquí con mi hermano mayor Goyo, o Greg.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, Gabe, we are in the middle of La Copa America. Tomorrow, the U.S. tries to bounce back, unfortunately, by playing Uruguay, who are undefeated. It's the second smallest country in the tournament, and they are just killing it. They're amazing.
They're so good.
Yeah, I don't know if our listeners are aware, but the U.S.-Panama game, the one where the player got sent off with a red card, that happened just a few miles from where I was at the time of the game, Gabe. I was
Wow.
near downtown Atlanta, and they were playing at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and so that was really cool to, kind of see the traffic and the fans coming in and things like that.
Yeah, to be in the same town as this Copa America game, you're very lucky. I know that we have listeners in Canada, and we're very happy for Canada. They're making their first appearance ever in the tournament, and they have made it to the quarterfinals. They caused Chile to crash out, so congratulations to Canada.
What's our topic today, Gabe?
So today we're going to be talking about how do is a part of many English questions, but also do and does are a part of many of the answers to those questions in English.
Something, in fact, that is not present in Spanish questions is present in English questions and therefore requires some attention, some focus, which we'll give it today.
But before we do that, let's go over some vocabulary. We're going to be talking about the word honk or honks, which is a honk, which is a sound. So when you say that something is honking, in inglés, este es el sonido que hace un ganso o una bocina, un claxon. So it can be anything between honk to honk, honk. Those are both honks, right?
See.
So we're going to use the phrase to seem to be doing something. We're going to say that somebody doesn't seem to, and that is como parecer.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I wanted to say he doesn't seem to understand Spanish, right? He doesn't seem to understand Spanish. We would translate that as no parece entender español. We're going to talk about the verb realize. We'll use realize. And in this sense, to realize es como darse cuenta de. So, for example, I might say, she didn't realize that he wasn't there. She didn't realize that he wasn't there. So that would be no se dio cuenta de que no estaba allí, right? She didn't know it, didn't realize it.
And there's another word realize in English and in Spanish, which has a totally different meaning. So we're not realizing our dreams like we do in Spanish. Vas a realizar tus sueños o algo así. No es igual. Darse cuenta de.
And the last vocab word for this week is blender. And a blender is a kitchen item que es una licuadora o una batidora.
Blender to me sounds like an app, like a dating app, like Blender. Let's get everybody together and mix them all up like a licuadora.
Right. To blend something together in English is como mezclar.
That's right. All right, so to begin, our episode will illustrate how do is a part of many English questions and also a part of many English answers after those questions. So, vamos a tomar una declaración como ejemplo and show you what we mean. I put mustard on my French fries, Gabe. I put mustard, mostaza, on my French fries. So notice, oyentes, that there is no do in that sentence. I put mustard on my French fries. No contiene la palabra do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last episode, we talked about how confirmational questions work in English. In this case, those would be, in the case of my French fries.
Hey, Greg, you don't like mustard on your French fries, do you? Or I might say, you like mustard on your French fries, don't you?
So you've heard the do and the don't in a previous episode as we seek confirmation, right? Confirmation. Do you, don't you, etc. In this episode, we want you to hear as many examples as possible of, do you like to put mustard on your French fries, Greg? Oh, yes. Yes, I do. So notice, do you like to put mustard? And yes, I do. Yes, I do. Like para enfatizar, no? Yes, I do like to put mustard on my French fries. Hey, Gabe, sit down and watch this movie with me. Oh, hey, I love movies with that actor. That one, right? What's his name? It's just on the tip of my tongue. Do you know who that actor is with the pistol in his hand?
Yes, I do. That bro is Jean-Claude Van Damme. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do. We watched so many movies of his when we were kids.
So again, I, Gabo, could say, I know who that actor is, right? When he said, do you know who that actor is? I could have said, yes, I know who that actor is, without using the word do. But more commonly, you're going to hear in English, yes, I do.
And we need to point out as well that you can just say yes, just like in Spanish, right? You can say, do you know who that actor is? Yes. But for some reason, in our experience, we're noticing that a lot of speakers in at least American English will finish that off with I do. It's like a place to land. It's like a way to finish the sentence more completely. It feels good in the mouth to say, yes, I do, instead of just yes. Si te gusta escuchar nuestros episodios y si usas Android, puedes bajar nuestra app Tenaz Intermediate English gratis de Google Play. Brindamos enlaces en nuestra página notebrindaspodcast.us a todas nuestras apps. Haz un clic hoy en la pestaña para aplicaciones. Gracias. All right, now listen to this next example and see how we change the word do, like yes I do, to something else, else.
Hey, Greg, I really like your new apartment.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, what is that sound?
That's my neighbor Trish. She wants to join the local symphony, the wind ensemble. And she's practicing all the time on that trumpet. The problem is, of course, she's not getting any better. She never seems to improve.
Oh, she's terrible. This is torture. Me suena un claxon. Does she know that you can hear her awful trumpet honks?
Yes, she does. But she doesn't seem to care.
So here, Trish might say in a statement, I know that you can hear my awful trumpet honks, right? Not that she ever would, but there's no do in that sentence. I know that you can hear my awful honking trumpet. But the question about her is, does she know that you can hear her awful honks? And then Greg answered, yes, she does. So does she know? Yes, she does.
So did you hear the change, oyentes? Instead of saying do, as in I do or you do, for the form she, for the subject pronoun she, we ask, does she? And we answer with she does. Does she? She does.
Right. So it's I do or you do, but she does.
Now, we think you've learned the word does before. You've heard it elsewhere. You've certainly read it elsewhere in English classes. So you've probably noticed that it's spelled D-O-E-S, right? D-O-E-S. However, there's no O sound in that word. There's not a short O. There's not a long O. It rhymes with does. Say after me, please. Does. And it's not does. It's does.
Oh, that's right. There is kind of a Z sound, a Z sound at the end instead of an S sound. Okay. I hadn't thought about that. Does, not does. Okay, let's listen to another example here. We want you to notice in this next little conversation how we make do and does into negatives. Now listen for that change. Hey, Greg, can I come in?
Oh, of course. You want something to drink?
No, thanks. Hey, do you still have my blender?
No, I don't. You know, I gave it to Trish, my neighbor, and, Gobble, she's not playing that stupid trumpet of hers right now because she's using the blender. Ya no toca. Ha ha.
Okay, great. Does she realize that it's my blender?
No, she doesn't. I lied to her and told her that it was my blender, Gabe. I had to do it, Carnal. She told me that if she could not make milkshakes, she was just going to keep on practicing the trumpet.
So did you hear, oyentes? I don't have your blender. She doesn't have your blender. So do becomes don't and does becomes doesn't, which is the most common way we would say does not. She doesn't have your blender. She does not have it.
All right, well, it's time for our quiz. Que se queda en el coco hoy? What sticks with you after our lesson today? Question number 1. Oyentes, how does Gabe answer the question? Gabe, do you know who that actor is? Does he say A, yes, I do? B, no, I don't? Or C, no, she doesn't?
All right, think about it a moment. Okay, oyentes, if you said A, yes, I do, that was the correct answer because he was gesturing to Jean-Claude Van Damme, one of my old movie star heroes, and I said, yes, I do know who that is.
Excellent.
Okay, so how does Goyo answer the question, does Trish know that we can hear her practicing the trumpet? Does he answer A, yes, I do? B, no, she doesn't? Or C, yes, she does?
Okay, so does Trish know that we can hear her practice? Yes, she does. Yes, she does know that we can hear her practicing the trumpet, pero no le importa ni una pizquita, right? She doesn't care.
She doesn't seem to care. Yeah.
She doesn't seem to care. That's right.
Very obnoxious. But that was correct. C, she does. Yes, she does. Okay, last question. So, oyentes, how does Goyo answer the question, does Trish realize that the blender belongs to Gabe? Is it A, yes, I do? B, no, she doesn't? Or C, yes, she does?
Okay, so, oyentes, you may remember que le mentí a Trish. See, I told her a fib. I told her a lie. A fib is a small lie. because I was tired of listening to her play the trumpet. So the correct answer is then no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. We want to thank our patrons. If you would like to become a patron of this show, please go to www.patreon.com/No Te Rindas Podcast. And there you can see the many benefits of being a patron on this show. We also would like to shout out several new cities today, Gabe. This is a really long list. First, Ciudad Guayana in Venezuela, right there on the Orinoco River. Saludos, Venezuela. Lima, Peru. Taoyuan. I know I'm saying that poorly. I apologize. Taoyuan. Gabe, we have our first listener from Taiwan.
Wow.
On today to thank. Mm-hmm. Nuremberg, Bavaria. Tapachula, Chiapas. Hey, que viva el tri in Mexico. Ho Chi Minh City, a listener in Vietnam, Gabe. And finally, Phuket, Thailand. Wow. I mean, that's just amazing. We have listeners all over the world, Gabe. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, guys. That's amazing. And we have Southeast Asian listeners and a listener in Taiwan. Let's just keep that going. Having a long list is a good problem to have, isn't it?
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Well, we want to remind everyone to, if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcast, if you could take a minute and leave a review, that would really help us. If you're listening to it on other podcast platforms, please leave us a calificación, a rating, so that others can be exposed to this podcast and we can reach other English learners like you.
And our website is noteerindaspodcast.us. And I want to announce today that we are linked there to both Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and that we are putting forth a lot of small, kind of easy to finish, easy to digest videos that have just a small portion of a lesson in them. So please go and find us on those platforms and, become our friend or subscriber or whatever. And you can get small English lessons while you're enjoying YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. So, Gabe, a lot of our listeners will be paying attention to the Mexico-Ecuador game this evening. And, by the time they hear this, that game may be over and a lot of the other games may be over too. But I just want to wish everybody a happy Copa America. I hope you're enjoying the tournament, and I know we are.
Hey, Goyo?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you want Mexico to beat Ecuador?
Oh, man. Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Me too. Viva Mexico.
All right. Thank you for putting me on the spot. Thank you for putting me in La Esquina there, bro. I love you.
I love you. Have a great week, and let's do this again soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.